This is a great question, and I am sure you are not alone as we all found out that attorney Alan Jackson is representing Nick Reiner, who is an incredibly high profile attorney and costs a lot of money. So, there is something called the Slayer Statute, and I will read exactly what that says, and specifically for California. It is Probate Code 250 for California, and it states the following. The California Slayer statute prevents a person who intentionally and feloniously unalives someone from inheriting or receiving benefits from the victim's estate, including under wills, trusts, life insurance, or intestacy laws, treating the killer as if they predeceased the victim. This law aims to stop murderers from profiting from their crimes, applying even if there is no criminal conviction, and disinheriting the killer while directing assets to contingent beneficiaries or the estate. It doesn't apply to justifiable homicides like self-defense or lesser crimes like negligent homicide. In court action, a court determines if the unaliving was intentional and felonious, effectively preventing the killer from gaining wealth from their crime. Now, what we know in this situation about Nick Reiner and his finances is there's reports that indicate he's got a history of severe drug addiction, and he likely doesn't have much personal funding or significant assets of his own. He's previously admitted to actually stealing money from his parents in the past to support his addiction. Now, the only thing that I have seen where he may have gotten a large chunk of funds is from when he made the movie Being Charlie. However, that was already about a decade ago at this point, so I don't imagine there would be much left from that, especially with his addiction issues. So if Nick is convicted of these unalivings, the Slayer statute does legally prevent him from accessing any inheritance from his parents' estate, and it's making that impossible to use those specific funds for his defense. So while we do not know at this time how Alan Jackson is being funded to represent Nick Reiner, it could be speculated that somebody either in his family or any alternative third-party source could be covering the legal fees. It's also possible that Alan Jackson may just take upon the case without charging him, simply for the notoriety of the case and the exposure that he would get as an attorney. This does happen in high-profile cases. So I hope that sheds some light on the question based on what we know legally with the penal code and then what we know and can speculate off of Nick Reiner's specific situation and the notoriety of this case.